Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about electrostatics. Electrostatics is a very broad chapter. We will start from charging of a body. Charging of a body, that is how a body acquires positive charge, negative charge. किसी भी पिंड में जो आवेशन की प्रक्रिया होती है उसका कारण है। हम सभी लोग जानते हैं कि जो पिंड होते हैं वो परमाणु से मिलकर बने होते हैं और प्रत्येक परमाणु में प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉनों की संख्या बराबर होती है। प्रोटॉनों एवं इलेक्ट्रॉनों की संख्या बराबर होने के कारण सामान्य रूप से परमाणु उदासीन होता है, वैद्युतीय रूप से उदासीन होता है, उसमें कोई आवेश नहीं होता। परिणामतः आपका पिंड भी सामान्य रूप से आवेशित नहीं होता, अनावेशित होता है, उदासीन होता है। लेकिन कुछ पर्टिकुलर कंडीशंस पर, जैसे एक पिंड को दूसरे पिंड के ऊपर रगड़ा जाए और यदि किसी एक पिंड के परमाणु से इलेक्ट्रॉन स्थानांतरित होकर किसी दूसरे पिंड के परमाणु में चले जाए तो होगा क्या? जिस पिंड के परमाणु से इलेक्ट्रॉन निकले हैं उस पिंड के परमाणु में प्रोटॉनों की संख्या यानी कि धनावेश अधिक हो जाएगा। अधिक हो जाएगा मतलब आपका परमाणु धनावेशित हो जाएगा। परमाणु धनावेशित हो जाएगा अर्थात आपका पिंड धनावेशित हो जाएगा। और जिस पिंड में इलेक्ट्रॉन पहुँचे हैं उस पिंड के परमाणु में इलेक्ट्रॉनों की संख्या अधिक हो जाएगी और इलेक्ट्रॉनों की संख्या अधिक होने के कारण परमाणु में ऋणात्मक आवेश आ जाएगा। परिणामतः आपका पिंड ऋणावेशित हो जाएगा। तो आवेशन की प्रक्रिया की जो परमाणुविक व्याख्या है वह इलेक्ट्रॉनों के स्थानांतरण पर निर्भर करती है। अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन एक पिंड से दूसरे पिंड में स्थानांतरित हुए हैं तो हमारा जो पिंड है वो आवेशित हो जाएगा। यदि इलेक्ट्रॉन निकल गए उससे तो धनावेशित हो जाएगा, अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन आ गए तो ऋणावेशित हो जाएगा। अब प्रश्न उठता है कि किसी भी पिंड में आवेश की मात्रा अधिकतम कितनी हो सकती है, न्यूनतम कितनी हो सकती है? तो इसे एक सिद्धांत है जिसे कहते हैं क्वांटीकरण का सिद्धांत, थ्योरी ऑफ क्वांटिजेशन। थ्योरी ऑफ क्वांटिजेशन यानी कि क्वांटीकरण का सिद्धांत, थ्योरी ऑफ क्वांटिजेशन। थ्योरी ऑफ क्वांटिजेशन, इस थ्योरी के अनुसार किसी भी पिंड में आवेश की जो मात्रा है वह सूक्ष्मतम आवेश, सूक्ष्मतम आवेश लीस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज का सरल गुणक, इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल। तो प्रश्न होता है कि सूक्ष्मतम आवेश कितना होता है? तो सूक्ष्मतम आवेश E इट इज इक्वल टू 1.6 इंटू 10 to the power minus 19। What is this? That is least amount of charge. Least amount of charge. Least amount of charge, that is E, and its value is E, that is called least amount of charge, denoted by E equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19। यह आपका सूक्ष्मतम आवेश है जो किसी पिंड में हो सकता है। अब रहा सवाल कि इससे अधिक कितना हो सकता है, तो मैंने क्या कहा? इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल, सरल गुणक। सूक्ष्मतम आवेश का सरल गुणक, यानी सरल गुणक का मतलब क्या होता है? 2 गुना, 3 गुना, 4 गुना, 5 गुना, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, like this, but not equal to 1 right 1 by 2 times। 2.5 गुना, 3.5 गुना, 1.5 गुना, यानी कि भिन्नात्मक रूप में नहीं होगी। आवेश की जो मात्रा है वह भिन्नात्मक रूप में नहीं होगी, बल्कि इस सूक्ष्मतम आवेश का सरल गुणक होगी 2 गुना, 3 गुना, 4 गुना, 5 गुना, बट नॉट 2.5 गुना, 3.5 गुना, 4.5 गुना, इस तरह से नहीं होगी, यानी भिन्नात्मक रूप में नहीं होगी। एंड इट इज कॉल्ड थ्योरी ऑफ क्वांटिजेशन, यानी कि क्वांटीकरण का सिद्धांत। किसी भी पिंड में आवेश की मात्रा सूक्ष्मतम आवेश E 1.6 इंटू 10⁻⁻⁹ कूलम का सरल गुणक होगी। Any body acquires charge of integral multiple of least amount of charge 1.6 into 10⁻⁹ coulomb. That is called theory of quantization. Now, very well known formula, very well known law, which is called Coulomb's law. In lower classes, you already read it, and I am going to repeat it with some broad way. That is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law in electrostatics. What is this? According to Coulomb's law, the force of repulsion or attraction. The force of repulsion or attraction. As we know, same charges repel to each other, opposite charges attract to each other. So, according to Coulomb's law, the force of attraction or repulsion between two stationary charges, that is always equal to product of not equal to, that is proportional to product of charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between the charges. How? Suppose there are two charges, one charge is Q1, okay, suppose it is plus, other charge is plus Q2, okay, distance between these two charges is suppose R, these two charges are stationary, remember. So force of repulsion, that is force of repulsion F, actually it is a mutual force, it is a mutual force, okay. So force of repulsion between these two charges, that is directly proportional to product of charges Q1, Q2, and inversely proportional square of distances, and inversely proportional to square of distances between the charges. On summarizing these two relations, we will get F proportional to Q1, Q2 upon R square. Q1, Q2 upon R square. Okay. Now, on eliminating this proportionality sign, we will write F equal to K, that is constant, Q1, Q2 upon R. Q1, Q2 upon R square. Here K, it is a constant. Here K, it is a constant. Experimentally, its value is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K. That is experimental value. And what is K? What is the epsilon naught? I will write here. Here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, that was pi, that is constant 3.14 or 22/7. And what is epsilon naught? What we say epsilon naught. Epsilon naught. And its value is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. K, that is called dielectric constant of the medium. Dielectric constant of the medium. K is called dielectric constant of the medium. And for air or vacuum, it is equal to dielectric constant, that is K, it is equal to 1 for air or vacuum, and it is minimum value of the medium. For other medium, it is always more than 1, that is dielectric constant of the medium. And for air and for vacuum, it is equal to 1, and for other any medium, it is always more than 1. That is dielectric constant. And now the total value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, it is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power 9, that is Newton meter square per meter. This value is frequently replaced in numerical problems. After some time, you will be familiar with this value. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per meter. Okay, so it is a Coulomb's law, right? It is a Coulomb's law. According to Coulomb's law, the force of repulsion or attraction between two stationary charges, that is proportional to product of charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between these charges. And it is a constant, and this constant is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K. Okay, here epsilon naught, that is called permittivity of free space, निर्वात की वैद्युतशीलता, and it is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. And that K is called dielectric constant of the medium. Different medium have different dielectric constant, like water is dielectric constant of 81, water and dielectric constant of 81. And for air or vacuum, that is minimum value, lowest value equal to 1. For other medium, it is always equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, it is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay. Now, electric field. Electric field. You know gravitational field. Every object, every body which is freely falling towards the earth, that is due to gravitational field. Earth attracts every body towards itself. Earth is surrounded by its field. Which is called gravitational field. Likewise, every charged body or every charged particle has its own field, has its own field, which is called electric field, which is called electric field. Positive charge has electric field in its surrounding region. Negative charge particle has electric field in its surrounding region. And what is the direction of electric field? How electric field behaves? We will discuss here. So, electric field, what is electric field? That is surrounding region of the charge body. That is surrounding region of the charge body where unit positive charge experience force. Where unit positive charge experience force, that is called electric field. And suppose there is a positive charge and there is negative charge. From positive body or from positive charge, electric lines of force always emerges from the body. Direction of electric field from the positive charge always away from the body. Direction of electric field from the positive charge is always away from the charge. And for negative charge particle, for negative charge, the direction of electric field is always towards the charge body or towards the negative charge. That is, direction of electric field due to positive charge, due to negative charge. From positive charge, the electric lines of force always emerges from the charge. Actually, what is electric lines of force? That is indication for the electric field. These are imaginary lines for representation of electric field. For representation of electric field, these are imaginary lines and their direction shows the direction of electric field. Now, there are some specific properties of electric lines of force. Very simple. First property of electric lines of force. Electric lines of forces emerge from the positive charge and terminated at negative charge. पॉजिटिव चार्ज से निकलती हैं और नेगेटिव चार्ज पर जाकर उनका अंत हो जाता है, टर्मिनेटेड एट नेगेटिव चार्ज. सेकेंड प्रॉपर्टी, द tangent. What is tangent? Suppose electric lines of force is like this. It is electric lines of force. So what is tangent? At this point, tangent is this. It is tangent. Again, suppose it is the electric lines of force, and at this point, it is tangent. So at this point, the tangent drawn shows the direction of electric field. Shows the direction of electric field. इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स पर किसी भी पॉइंट पर डाला गया टेंजेंट, डाली गई स्पर्श रेखा उस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड के डायरेक्शन को रिप्रेजेंट करती है. डायरेक्शन ऑफ electric field is represented by the tangent drawn at that particular point. Okay. Next, two electric lines of force never intersect each other. Two electric lines of force never intersect each other. Why two electric lines of force never intersect each other? Because if it is so, there will be two tangents. There will be two tangents at the intersection. There will be two tangents at the intersection point. And as we have said that tangent indicates the direction of electric field. So if there are two tangents, so at a particular point, at a unique point, the direction of electric field will be 2. At a point, direction of electric field will be 2, which is not possible. At a particular point, the direction of electric field will be unique. At a particular point, the direction of electric field will be unique. सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक होगा. एक पॉइंट पर कभी दो डायरेक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड नहीं हो सकते. लेकिन अगर इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स एक दूसरे को इंटरसेक्ट कर रही हैं, कट कर रही हैं, तो वहाँ पर दो टेंजेंट होंगी. हाउ? लुक हियर. सपोज it is the electric lines of force and another electric lines of force is this one and intersecting at this point. It is the electric line of force, it is another electric line of force and both are intersecting to each other at this point. Now we have to draw tangents at this point for obtaining the direction of electric field. So what will you do? You can do like this. It is a tangent at this point and it is also a tangent at this point. There are two curves, one curve, second curve. So there will be two tangents at a particular point. It is a tangent and it is also a tangent for the second curve. It means at this particular point the direction of electric field will be 2, which is not possible. That's why two electric lines of force never intersect each other. That's why two electric lines of force never intersect each other, because if it is so, then there will be two directions of electric field, which is not possible. At a point, direction of electric field will be unique. That will be only one, not two. Okay. Another property, the electric lines of force. The electric lines of force has tendency of contraction along its length. Yeah. The electric lines of force has tendency of contraction along its length. जो इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स होती हैं उनमें अपनी लंबाई में सिकुड़ने का गुण होता है, कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स हैज टेंडेंसी ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन along its length, and this tendency results attraction between two opposite charges. अगर दो opposite charge हैं तो दोनों के बीच में क्या होता है? अट्रैक्शन होता है. दोनों के बीच में अट्रैक्शन होता है. अगर आपसे कोई पूछे दो opposite charges why attract to each other, एक दूसरे को क्यों आकर्षित करते हैं, तो उसका रीजन आप क्या बताएंगे? There is tendency of contraction along its length in electric lines of force. जो चार्ज के चारों तरफ जो इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स होती हैं, जो वैद्युत बलयमान होती हैं, उनका अपनी लंबाई के अनुदिश सिकुड़ने का गुण होता है, सिकुड़ने की प्रवृत्ति होती है, और अपनी लंबाई के अनुदिश सिकुड़ने की प्रवृत्ति के कारण ही दो विपरीत आवेशों में आकर्षण है. ओके. And another property in electric lines of force, there is tendency of separation from each other. जो इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स होता है उनकी प्रवृत्ति होती है एक दूसरे से पृथक रहने की. So the property of tendency of separation from each other, that results repulsion between two same charges. दो समान चार्जेस के बीच में जो प्रतिकर्षण होता है, जो रिपल्शन फोर्स लगता है, उस रिपल्शन फोर्स का कारण ये है कि इलेक्ट्रिक लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्स की जो टेंडेंसी होती है, जो प्रवृत्ति होती है, वो आपस में एक दूसरे से पृथक रहने की होती है. There is tendency of separation from each other in electric lines of force, which results the repulsive force between same charges. So these are some properties of electric lines of force you must have to remember. And next is electric dipole. Next is electric dipole. I have taking some definition. I am taking the definition of the electric dipole. Definition of electric dipole. So, okay, I am writing here. Electric dipole. Okay, two charges minus plus. Okay, electric dipole nothing, minus q plus q, separation between the charges, that is. Okay, so how will you define electric dipole? If two charges of opposite nature, and of equal magnitude, if two charges of equal magnitude and opposite natures are placed at a very short distance, then the system formed is called electric dipole. Okay, so it is the definition of electric dipole, and further explanation I will take in the next class. Okay, thank you everybody.